So tummy time is one of those things that if you've been following for a while or you're just starting out on your baby journey, you hear about it all over the place. Everyone talks about it. Everyone recommends it. But not every baby loves tummy time, and many babies will cry and fuss during it. So let's talk about what tummy time actually is, why it is important, and how to make it fun for you and your baby, so that they can get the benefits from it. I'm a physical therapist. I am a physical therapist, and on this channel we talk about all things physical therapy to help you and your baby reach their developmental milestones and just live a happy and healthy life. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And let's jump right into it. Tummy time is when your baby is placed on their stomach with their head supported and is given the opportunity to lift their head up off the ground. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be on the floor. You could do it on your lap. You could do it in a baby carrier, even sitting upright. It's not really about being on the ground, although that is a great option. It is more about allowing your baby to explore being on their stomach and lifting their head up with support. Now, why is tummy time so important? The first reason is because it helps your baby develop the strength they need to get from this position onto other positions, like sitting, rolling over, crawling, and eventually walking. Being able to lift their head up off the ground requires a lot of core and upper body strength, which are muscles that are going to be used in all positions, especially when they're on their hands and knees, trying to crawl or walk. So this is a great way to help strengthen those muscles early on. The second reason is because it allows them to work on strengthening the muscles that are in between the shoulder blades, called the rhomboid muscles. These muscles are important not only for moving around on the floor, but also for helping with breathing and for helping them have good posture when they get a little bit older. And finally, tummy time gives your baby a chance to strengthen their neck muscles. When they're lying on their back, their head is often supported by your hand or another object, and they don't have a chance to work on strengthening the muscles in their neck. Tummy time allows them to strengthen these muscles, which will help prevent things like torticollis or flat head syndrome, where their head has a flat spot on it, because they're always lying on the same surface. So when should you start doing tummy time with your baby? Anytime after they've had that newborn period where they're still getting used to life outside the womb. You want to start introducing tummy time as soon as possible. Most of the time we recommend doing it in the times when you think your baby might be the happiest. So maybe it's after a nap or a feeding. You know your baby best, so use that knowledge to guide you as to when they might be most awake and alert but not overstimulated. And how long should you do tummy time with your baby? As much as you can. Now, this doesn't mean hours and hours on the ground, but try to sneak it in whenever you can throughout the day. For example, if you're on the floor playing with your older baby, let them spend some time on their tummy during that playtime. If you're changing their diaper, lay them down on the changing table for a few moments. Even if you're just sitting on the couch watching TV, put them down on your lap for some tummy time. Try to make it a part of your daily routine. As far as positioning goes, you never want to leave your baby unattended on the floor during tummy time. Always make sure that you're nearby and ready to pick them up if needed. You can start off by simply placing your baby on their stomach, while supporting their head with your hand underneath it. As they get stronger, you can start to reduce that support and eventually just have your hand nearby. Just be sure that they're able to lift their head up without falling over. If your baby seems to be having a hard time lifting their head up, you can always roll them onto their side and give them a little bit of support with your hand under their head. Then allow them to work towards lifting it up independently. Once they're able to lift their head up consistently, then you can move on to having them lift their head up while you re-holding them securely by the armpits. You can do this on the ground or on your lap. And then once they're strong enough to do that, you can progress to having them lift their head up off the ground with no support. You can also have your baby lift their head up while you're doing some other activities, like singing songs or making funny faces. You could also have a toy on the ground in front of them and encourage them to look at it by lifting their head up. Now if your baby gets upset during tummy time, try switching positions, trying a different activity, taking a break, and coming back to it later, or simply picking them up and comforting them. They're going to let you know when they've had enough. Now I've got a couple bonus tips for you that I think are really helpful. One is to consider putting some kind of blanket or towel underneath your baby's chest. This won't allow them to push themselves up, and will encourage them to keep their head lifted higher. You can also do this if your baby is starting to roll over while they're redoing tummy time. Placing something underneath them will help prevent them from rolling off to the side. Another tip is to consider putting your baby's favorite toy within reach during tummy time. Placing that toy close by will motivate your baby to work towards reaching it. And lastly, consider setting up a playdate with another baby and parent. My son absolutely loves going to the park and seeing his friend. It's a great way to socialize and get some tummy time in at the same time. Alright, now let's talk about some activities you can do during tummy time. First one is to place a toy within reach and encourage your baby to go after it. You can also sing songs or make funny faces while they re-looking at the toy to encourage them to keep lifting their head up. Another thing you can do is have your baby reach for your fingers. Simply extend your fingers out in front of them and let them take a hold of them. Again, you could sing songs or make funny faces during this time to encourage them to lift their head up. You can also encourage your baby to explore different textures during tummy time. Simply place a variety of textured fabrics on the ground in front of them and let them explore. You could also place some toys on top of those fabrics to encourage them to go after them. And another activity you can do is to have your baby reach for a rattle. Place a rattle within reach and encourage your baby to go after it. You could shake the rattle to make noise to encourage them to reach for it. Alright, now I want to talk a little bit about tummy time for older babies. As your baby gets a little bit older and starts to scoot around on the floor, they need opportunities to practice getting up on their hands and knees and working on things like crawling. To encourage this, you can continue to let them do tummy time on the floor and work on lifting their head up higher. You can also encourage them to do things like rock forward and backward on their hands and knees or side to side on their elbows. You can also encourage them to crawl by placing a toy just out of reach and encouraging them to go after it. Now I have one final thought on tummy time that I want to leave you with. Don't stress over tummy time. I know it feels like a big deal, and it is. However, there's not a certain amount of time that they need to be doing it each day or each week. Simply try to sneak it in whenever you can and enjoy the time with your baby. If you stress over hitting a certain milestone or reaching a certain amount of time in a certain position, it's going to transfer onto your baby and make them feel stressed as well. So try to remain relaxed, have fun, and enjoy the time with your baby. That's what's most important. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. And I'll see you next time.